All right, my people, you can call me Marmite. All right. You're going to either love me after this or you're going to hate me. But here's the damn truth. You don't just lose money in the markets because of a bad setup. You lose because you believe your own excuses. Okay, I'll say it again. You don't just lose in the markets because of a bad setup. You lose because you believe your own excuses. Because here's the truth. The markets do not care about your feelings. They don't care if you're fearful. They don't care about your made up rules. The markets are only going to reward discipline and they're going to destroy hesitation. And that's why today I want to break down the 10 biggest excuses that you make to sabotage yourself. And once and for all, figure out how we can flip this on its head. So, excuse number one, it's already moved too far. Now, look, I gotta say this straight. You just don't ever miss a trade. You just can't. Because the market doesn't care where you think it's gone. It's not sitting there waiting for you to arrive at the bus stop on time, waiting for you to catch up. It's not feeling bad because you hesitated. Here's the truth. If your system gives you a valid entry, what are you supposed to do? Take it. And not just sit there waiting for the perfect pullback or the ideal confirmation while the trade just plays out in front of you and you didn't get involved. Because what the hell is perfection? That's not trading. That's gambling with indecision, right? You're chasing some kind of fantasy that doesn't exist. Because in the business that we're in, my people, perfection doesn't pay. Action does. Right? The market doesn't reward those who move with, well, the market does reward those that move with conviction. But those that lack it, you're going to struggle. Right? It's not going to reward those that freeze up hoping for a miracle. So the next time you feel that hesitation creeping in, you've got to hear my voice. You didn't miss it. You're not too late. Because if your system says yes, then you've got to take the trade. And the only reason you didn't execute is because you lack in the confidence or the belief in your process. And that is why you've got to lock in. That's why you've got to press the button, because while you're there second guessing, the market's already gone. It's moving, it's left you. So don't keep coming up with the same excuses. You missed the trade, you didn't. You just didn't press the button. Okay? Excuse number two, I'm going to wait for more confirmation. Now, let's talk about this word confirmation, because there's a whole heap of nonsense that I hear all the time. You're sitting there, you're waiting for more confirmation. You're waiting for a sign from the trading gods so that you get this perfect setup. You could take this trade and there's some ideology or idea, should I say, that it won't lose. Here's the truth about confirmation. Confirmation is your system. If your system is aligned, you've already got your answer, right? So you're not waiting for more confirmation or more clarity. You're simply stalling, right? You're waiting for extra candles to develop to appear on the charts just to disguise the fear as analysis. And it's simply a delay tactic, right? To avoid commitment. So all the while you're waiting, guess what? The market's already moved again. So you're not going to get an engraved invitation to trade, guys. This is something you have to accept. There's going to be no fireworks saying, hey, George, press the button, dude. You're not going to get a neon sign flashing saying, now it's the time. What you need to do is start trusting the system that you've built, the one that you've back tested, the one that you know that works. That's your confirmation. So next time you're tempted to just wait for one more candle or one more little sign, snap out of it, man. Stop looking for an excuse not to act. You've got to pull the trigger with conviction. You've got to move with confidence, because the market doesn't wait for you, my friends. They don't care whether you're trading a 10K account, a 100K account, whether you've never had a payout before, you're looking for your first one. You've got to press the button. Okay. Excuse number three, I'll just close now and look and accept the small win. I'll just close now and lock in a small win. No, sir. No, 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 ma'am. It doesn't work like that. You're up 0.5% and then suddenly, you get scared it's going to turn against you. Here's the truth. You didn't enter the trade to scout crumbs like a pigeon, right? You didn't show up to the market to grab a few scraps and call it a win, right? You're here to follow a plan, guys, right? You're here to build real results. You're not here to play it safe. Defense doesn't work in this industry, in any industry, especially the fact that this is your business, right? You're here to play offense. And just because a candle flickers, you bail out. That little 0.5%, let me tell you something. That isn't wealth. It's not consistency. It's simply a distraction dressed up as a win. Right? The market moves naturally every single day, right? It breathes in and out. It's going to test you. In actual fact, it's like a mirror, right? It's going to flirt with your emotions and make you question your existence. But that's not what you should be worrying about, what you should be focusing on, because your stop loss and your target, that's your blueprint. That's your plan, not the 0.5% that you scrapped out of the markets because you was too fearful that it was going to reverse on you. And that's what you got to stick to. You got to cut the noise, not pull out early because you think something might happen. Small wins don't build wealth, my friends. Consistency and sticking to your plan does. So every time you override your system for a crumb, what you're effectively doing is teaching yourself to lose big over time. So the next time you're tempted to bail out on 0.5%, remember that you're either following your plan or you're winging it. And winging it never builds wealth. Set your targets, set your stop loss, and let it play out. Excuse number four, guys. The market looks weird today. What? You think the markets are weird today? Guys, that's not the market. That's just your fear talking. The truth is, if we're real with each other, the markets are always weird when you're scared. When you're stuck in your own head, when you're trading your mood instead of your system, the markets always look weird. And here's a newsflash, right? The market doesn't care about your mood swings. It doesn't care if you had a good sleep or whether you had a disagreement the night before. It's not waiting for you to feel ready. It's doing what it always does, right? It moves, it flows, it shifts, whatever you want to call it. So it's not the markets. Your setup is the constant. And that's something you have to understand. Your setup is the constant. So your system is the map, right? Not your feelings, not your doubts, not your fears and worries and concerns. So you've got to trade the setup, trade the system, forget about your mood, right? The markets are only weird if you let your mind make it weird. So you've got to cut out the noise. You've got to lock in. You got to trade what you planned, not what you feel. Because the only thing that is weird here is letting your emotions hijack your plan. Okay? The markets do not look weird. Fix up. Excuse number five, I'll re-enter because it's got to turn around now. Come on, you got to be having a bubble. Your stop loss got hit, you're mad, and now you're itching for a revenge trade. Not because you want to re-enter, because you want to get that loss back. But let me tell you this straight, guys. That's not trading. That's emotion talking, okay? That's you throwing away your plan and your process to do what you know you shouldn't be doing. And you know what a broken plan leads to? A broken account. Simple as that. Right? You don't make that losses by chasing them. You just dig the hole deeper and deeper and deeper. And guess what? Again, I'm going to say it again for those at the back, the market doesn't owe you a bounce back. It's not going to just hand you a win because you're upset, George, right? The only way forward is lock back into your system, review what went wrong, if anything went wrong. Man, I'm so tired of hearing traders say, oh, yeah, that's a bad trade. How can we learn from it? There's not something to learn from every trade you took. If it's part of your plan, then it should have been taken and we will win and we will lose. Like, but you got to reset your head, okay? Because if you chase that loss, it's going to end up leading to your anger driving the wheel, your emotions driving the wheel, right? You're handing your account over to chaos effectively. So what have we got to do? We've got to lock in. We've got to trade with discipline, not with emotions, because the market rewards patience and not revenge. So please think about that one. Stop jumping into another trade just because you just lost this one. Losses are part of the business. And to be true, full with you, you're going to lose more trades than you're ever going to win. And if you're chasing that 60, 78% win rate, good luck to you, my friend. Just good luck to you. Okay. Excuse number 6. The news release changed everything. Let's just blame the news. The news just dropped and now you're panicking. Let's be real, guys. If you're not a news trader, why are you letting headlines throw you off? There was news that just was released about an hour ago. The market shot all the way up on the pair that I traded. Oh no, is there going to be another trade today? If you're not comfortable with the way the markets look because of news, just walk away. When you getting there caught up in that, right? The markets are always going to throw some sort of curveball at you. Curveball at you. But your system, guys, wasn't built to react to the news. It was built to survive it. Okay? So news events ain't a reason to break your plan, right? They're just noise. And they only shake you if you let them. So if your system was good enough to enter the trade, it's good enough to stick to. Okay? Don't let the headlines hijack your mindset. Don't let fear throw you off track. Right? You've got to stick to your system, trust the plan, and let the market do its thing while you focus on yours. Okay? Stop getting caught up. Excuse number 7. I will wait until I feel more confident. Confidence before you enter. That's a myth, guys. It's a myth. Let me tell you something. Confidence comes after you take action, not before. Okay? So if you're waiting to feel 100% sure before you enter a trade, guess what? If you wait for that all of the time, you'll never take a trade in the first place. It's built through repetition because the market doesn't wait for you to feel good. Let me just give you a cuddle. Oh, you press the button. Let me just give you the win. It rewards those that step up and execute, guys. I've said it in the past. Execute, execute, execute. Despite how you feel, how nervous you are, how concerned you may be. You got to build confidence by following your system, by taking entries as planned, right? By showing up and sticking to your rules. Confidence isn't just a feeling that you chase, my people. It's a habit that you build over time. And it grows constantly every time you trust the plan and you pull the trigger. So stop waiting for magic, that magic moment to happen when you feel ready. Because you're going to miss every single opportunity waiting for you. Trade first, let confidence catch up. Okay? I'll say it again. Trade first and let confidence catch up. Excuse number 8. I'll just risk a little more on this one. Why? Why would you do that? You feeling bold? Just one big trade? What's the harm, right? Well, let me stop you there. Let me explain something to you. That's not bold. That's called gambling. Okay? You don't size up because you're feeling lucky. You size up because your data backs you up. Okay? Because your plan tells you now it's time to do so. And listen to me, risk management isn't a suggestion, it's the rule book. So you follow it no matter what. And it's not about the thrill of the moment here, it's about long term, sustainable wins. And that's how you're going to stay in the game consistently. Because if you want to blow your account, just keep gambling. That's fine. But if you want to build true wealth, there is no other way to do it, guys, other than to stick into the plan. Discipline. Ego every single time is going to be your demise. Discipline only. Everything else is going to be your demise. Okay? Excuse number 9. I'll exit early because the markets are about to reverse on me. What? You're out here trying to guess the top on the bottom? Bro, you're not a psychic. Okay? The market doesn't care about your predictions. It moves how it wants. Okay? So have we just forgot about your system all of a sudden? That's your real edge. That's the map that gets you where you need to go. Do you know how many times, and I'm going to say this, do you know how many times I've been in the trade and tried to guess the top and bottom and say it's time to exit? And the market just continues to fly up. There is just no way that there is not one of you watching this that find yourself guessing when to exit a trade, only to see it continue to fly up, to then enter the trade again as a reversal because it's like it can't go up anymore. And then it continues to go up, and then you sell again, and it continues to go up, and then eventually you buy and it goes down. Man, stop the guessing games, guys. Start trusting the process more. Because if the system says that it's a valid entry, what do we got to do? We've got to take it. If the system says it's time to exit, what do we got to do? We've got to exit. So you've got to start trading with precision, not prediction. Because the market doesn't listen to your hunches. It doesn't care for you, right? It only rewards, again, back to that same word, discipline. So think about that one. Stop guessing, man. Stick to the plan. Excuse number 10. I'll just check one more pair. Maybe there's a better trade. You're bouncing around like a bouncy ball from pair to pair, from strategy to strategy, from this next shiny or with this next shiny object syndrome in full swing. Here's the deal, right? You don't need a dozen pairs. You don't need a million strategies. You just need one system, one pair, one model. Bob's your uncle, right? Because let me explain something. Mastery comes from focus. Mastery comes from repetition, not from chasing the next big thing, not from hopping around when things get tough. Your system, guys, is your weapon. The pair is your playground, right? You don't need more. You need to just double down. That is it. So you got to lock in. You got to focus more. You got to master one or two setups like it's your day job. And then you got to focus on doing that on one pair consistently every single day until the time comes for you to get your results. And let me say that again, for the time to come for you to deserve your results and reap the rewards of your labor. When? I don't know. But will it happen? Yes, if you do exactly as what I'm telling you now. That's how you win. That's how you grow. That's how you stop chasing and start mastering what it is that you're doing. Okay? 10 excuses. Finish them. Okay? Because the bottom line is this. You're either running your system or your excuses are running you. That is it. So every time you give in to one of these excuses, right, you're basically telling the market, I don't deserve to win. It's not about being perfect, guys. It's about being disciplined enough to stay in the fight, right? Even when your mind starts to scream for an easy way out. All right? Drop a comment in the description below, in the comment section below, and let me know that if you're done with excuses and if you're here to win. Okay? If you enjoyed this video, guys, please be sure to subscribe, like, turn on notifications. Until the next one, as I always say, continue to trust the process.